Hello there, well it's Fiona from Weekly Sewing Bee. Well, it's that time of year that we all get aches and pains. So today what I'm going to do is my take on a wheat bag. Now I hope you know what I'm talking about. They're tubular things and they have wheat in them with maybe even a couple of bits of lavender, and you put them in the microwave, heat them up and then use them like a hot water bottle. But the advantage of these wheat bags is that they're sort of a bit more pliable. Now, okay, so wheat bags, two problems. A lot of people can't have wheat nowadays, and even the thought of a wheat bag against their skin would make them feel quite ill. And I've only ever seen it for sale in tiny little bags that are about £3 each. So we would need £9 worth of wheat before we've even started making a bag. Now I've tested this, and believe it or not, rice works just as well. And I can buy it in a supermarket, relatively cheap, and I don't have the allergy problem. Of course some people are allergic to this as well. Now what I have here is one of these beautiful sort of fat quarter fabrics, a polycotton, so very easy to sew, and you get to choose a pattern that you really like. And what it is half of a fat quarter, or if you were buying an eighth of fabric, then we could make two, because we could do it from long ways. So yes, relatively cheap, easy to accessible stuff, easy. I've got my sewing machine set up on quite a small stitch. I hope you're enjoying this sunny weather. I don't know if I can see actually, so and I've got my rectangle here, nice and easy. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half. I can pin it if I want to, but it's polycotton, so it should stay where I put it. And very nice to sew. I'm going to place it under the sewing machine, and away I go. Nice small stitches right up to the edge of the fabric. When I come to a corner, I'm going to leave my needle down. In fact, I can just do 1 or 2, and if I do it properly I can leave it in the same place, and then I'm going to sew up to the end. Now you can see why I say you don't really need to pin it, because okay, it will probably veer off, but I don't really need to even hold it. I'm just keeping an eye on it. And again, a couple of stitches just to make sure it's nice and secure. It's always these joints that are the weakest point, so it's always a good idea to do that. Now I'm going to turn it inside out, and this is where we're weakening these seams, so just whilst we're pulling it through, and any fluffy bits I can always take out. Okay, so there we are, we've left with the tube. Now what we need to do is we need to put this rice in. Now I've put it in a jug, just to transport it and everything else like that. I would thoroughly recommend that you pour it over a tray. You know, there's even a lot to be said for just doing it in the garden. You know, it's a messy business. So I've got my rice here, and I've got my tube. And with any luck, I'll be able to just pour this in. And it's only the first couple that are going to be hard. Once I've got the first couple in, then I can sort of use it to support itself. So here goes. There's a bit, no hands, look. So, now you don't need it fully full, you just need it probably over half, just so that you've got that mobility to sort of stretch it out. And if it is too full, then you won't be able to sort of microwave it properly. So now, as I said, you can use oils in them. Sorry, you can use lavender in them. What I actually do is I don't put anything in them, just because if you dried lavender, it could take an awful long time for it to be properly dry. Okay, what I'm going to do is just put that there. So I usually just put a couple of drops of oil on the cloth. I don't know if that's right or wrong. You can buy aromatherapy oils quite easily nowadays. And there you go. Come in all sorts of flavours. Some better for you than others. I'm making a right pig's ear of this, aren't I? I should just maybe stop the camera and do it. Okay, so yes, I don't put anything else inside them. Although you can dry some lavender and then chop that up and put it in as well. But I'm quite happy just to use a couple of drops of oil when I use them, and I don't think it does mark the cloth or anything, although I've never noticed it. So if I was giving this to a present for a friend, then, and I had a little bottle of oil spare, then I would include it for them, because of course you can't really use neat aromatherapy oil on yourself. Now that is actually only under half full, but I'm going to carry on rather than run downstairs and get some more rice. Now what we need to do is we've got these rough ends here, and if we push our fingers in, and then we've got that nice end, and we can just sort of slide it up and down so that it's even, and pinch it there, and you can put a pin in it if you like. It's all good. One thing you do have to watch is that you don't really sew through the rice. I don't think it will damage your machine. Maybe it won't do it any good if we got rice bits in the bottom. But if you wanted to, what we could do is we could put a little fold there, put a pin in it, and then all the rice is secured down the bottom. So we've pinned the top, we've pinned the bottom. I'm going to start sewing. And again, I really believe that it's the corners that we need to watch. So, and then I'm just going to sew through the top. Okay, be careful not to suck any bobbin thread in there. So let's go. Okay. Being careful actually to sew it as well. I could lie. But yeah, I'm just going to rethread the machine. That was user operator error rather than I was doing anything complicated. So okay. So back again, and away we go. And making sure that I've sewn completely off the end of the seam. Now, okay, whether you buy a wheat bag or you make one yourself or you make it with rice, what I recommend is that you put it in the microwave probably just for 30 seconds, and then you put it in the microwave for another 30 seconds. You can overcook wheat bags and then you get that horrible burny smell, and there really is nothing you can do but to throw away the wheat bag and start again. Now you can't wash these obviously, but as the ingredients are quite simple to get hold of and relatively cheap, then I suppose we could empty it, wash it, start again. That's not a problem. And what else was I going to say? No, so no trickery involved, obviously. Yeah, really, just a very simple sew, very simple idea, and if you need one, invaluable. Alright, thank you ever so much for watching. My name's Fiona from Weekly Sewing Bee.